Doctors, what patient made you think, how on earth are you even alive right now? I've worked emergency medicine for a long time, and you get used to a certain amount of, how are you still standing? But one guy is a permanent legend in our department, and it's not for what you'd think. His name doesn't matter. We just call him the toolbox, because every time he shows up, it's because of something he did to himself with a power tool while insisting he knew what he was doing. Over the years, he'd come in with a nail gun injury, a grinder incident, and one memorable evening where he'd stapled his own hand to a fence and driven himself in. So when I saw his name on the board last winter, I already braced myself. What I was not braced for was the triage note, which just read, ambulatory, chainsaw, says he's fine. I walked into the room, and there he was, sitting upright on the gurney, completely calm, holding a blood-soaked kitchen towel against his thigh, scrolling on his phone. Evening, Doc, he said, like we were about to discuss the weather. I asked him what happened. He told me very casually that he'd been cutting a fallen tree in his yard. The saw had kicked back, and it had gotten him a little. I peeled back the towel and had to work very hard to keep my face neutral, because a little was a laceration deep enough that I could see structures no patient should be describing to me while calm. I asked him how long ago this happened. He thought about it and said, what's today? That is never the answer you want. It turned out he'd done this to himself 2 days earlier, wrapped it in a towel, and kept working, because he didn't want to make a whole thing of it, and only came in now because his wife noticed the towel had changed colors a few times. 2 days. He'd been walking around, driving, sleeping, mowing the rest of his lawn apparently, with an injury that by every measure should have put him on the floor from blood loss alone, and the man was sitting in front of me asking if he could get a coffee from the vending machine while we sorted it out. I have genuinely seen people pass out from a paper cut who